Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, National Sales Manager for Bona Adhesives.
And I'm Rob Johnson from Bona Training. Wait, that lead-in sounded like a lead-in to James Bond or something. You were intense on that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That was pretty good, man.
You know what I was just thinking about? Yeah, go ahead.
I want to read you a list of names, all right?
Okay.
I'm going to read you a list of names, and I want you to tell me who they are.
Okay.
Suni Lee, Jojo Sliwa, Amanda Clives, Matt James, Christine Shue, Cody Rigsby, Martin Cove. Do you know any of those people?
Do I owe money? Is that what this is all about? You gonna put me on the spot?
No, not at all. I'm just wondering if you know any of those names.
None.
None.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Now, look, I'm not saying, and so what if I did? If I was a fan of Dancing with the Stars, I'd tell you I watched the show Dancing with the Stars, but I don't.
Okay.
Don't really care for it. Pauline loves it. The music, the dancing, right? She likes it. All old people really like that show.
Yeah.
Now that she's retired, right?
Oh, she retired.
She retired. I didn't tell you.
Oh no! Last I heard, she. Wait a minute. Last I heard, her coworker that she hated quit, and now she retires.
Now she retires, right?
Well, for God's sakes, I would have went another year or so. Anyhow, you know.
Well, I'm pretty sure the bosses at where she works, I'm pretty sure they felt the same way. Wow. Wait a minute. Your arch enemy is left, and now you're leaving too? Now we're out two people?
Maybe they hated each other, and neither one would refuse to leave until the other one left.
I'm telling you, the reason mostly she retired is like, she is the last of the people to retire at 62. You and I got to wait till we're 67.
Yeah, or 80.
Or
yeah.
Right. But I think she made it by 2 days or something, her birthday. So, wow. Yeah, she's retired.
Good for her. Good for her. Wow.
I know. She made it. You made it to the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Perfect. So she's a fan of that show, right? She watches it sometimes, not all the time, but.
Okay.
But all those names that I read you, they're on Dancing with the Stars. See, I'm doing the air quotes.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be like Brad Pitt or Jennifer Aniston or Joe Namath or, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole list of people, she's telling me everybody who's on it, there's more people. I knew none of them. Shouldn't there be one person that you would think is a star? When she was reading that list for Dancing with the Stars, I wouldn't have been surprised to hear your name come off. Wayne Highlander, National Adhesive Sales Manager.
Yeah. You know, I don't believe in dancing. I am getting, just forget it.
Come on.
No.
You're serious? You don't like dancing?
No, I don't know.
Come on, let's hear it. Come on.
What's the point, Rob? You know what I mean? Like, I get it if it's like a cultural thing. Like, you know what I mean? I like watching that stuff. Like, it's a cultural type. Okay, great example. Irish dancing. I think it's fantastic.
Irish step dancing, the pounding.
Yes. At my wedding, we had 3 Irish dancers. And the bagpipes, fantastic. I love it.
Were you that Lord of the Flies guy? Lord of the.
I was the groom.
Well, no. Wasn't there an Irish dancing guy? Lord of the something?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Never liked
it. Yeah. Did you like that?
What? You can't be a celebrity.
Dance like
that? No. And nor should he. Well, you could be that. You could dance like that, but you can't be a celebrity out of all that. I mean, you're just a good dancer.
What was that guy's name? Lord of the something.
I remember. Everybody went to see him for a while.
Oh yeah, he was everything.
Yeah.
And it was the Irish I think, but it was like Irish crazy dancing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like step dancing.
It's like clogging. It's like the clogging that you see in the Appalachian Mountains.
Yes.
Very similar. Yeah.
So you're not a dancer then?
I could dance. I just don't. It's just I don't see the point.
All right. Let me ask you another question. You go to a wedding. Do you get up and dance?
I will dance with my wife if she wants to dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fast dance, slow dance.
Well, what is this? An inquisition?
Yeah, I want to know. I think
I am more comfortable.
Look, you're a pretty big time celebrity, and people want to know this stuff about you.
No, no,
right?
no.
One floor of the year. Cue the music.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Love that song. I love that song.
No. But anyhow, you know what?
No to fast dancing.
I will. But I prefer slow dancing because it's more romantic. I get to hold my wife, right? You can take her around the dance floor. But but I'll do the other if I have to.
You know what I did last weekend? Last weekend I was working. Weekend before. The deck I've been building for years, finally finished it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I strung up outdoor lights, like the white type lights in a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
An outdoor type thing. Pauline and I had dinner out there, candlelight, played a little music, had the fire pit going, did some slow dancing.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Great.
Good for you. I like your style.
Great.
Yeah. See, now that I would enjoy, not with you or Pauline.
No, it was just the two of us. There was nobody else around.
Yeah.
No kids' birthday parties or anything like that. No, it was very nice. Yeah. It was nice. Yeah. And that lighting, it's kind of a low light. I look pretty good.
You need that.
I look good in the low lighting.
Yeah.
You know
look
what
good
I mean?
in neon.
Bright sunshine.
Yeah. No.
But that low light. Matter of fact, when I was putting the lights up, I was like, geez, these lights are kind of big. It's going to be pretty bright. I thought it was going to be really bright.
Yeah.
But they're kind of give a nice mellow, perfect for me, in these features.
We're not
saying?
We're not sunshine guys.
No.
Yeah. More like a neon from a nightclub type of atmosphere.
Yeah. Just get a glance.
Like a passing.
Right.
thing.
Yes. Not
too much.
They're direct. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
What are we going to talk about today, Rob?
Hey, we're going to talk about.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You can go.
No, go ahead.
The wood floor business article. And I really like this one. This was a good one. And you and I kind of did this way back when, maybe one of our first 20 or 25 episodes. Who would you like to go to dinner with?
Yeah, I remember.
Right. And I think we were doing it more of just general, who would you, Abe Lincoln or something like that. But Wood Floor Business put out, what wood floor pro would you want to sit on this bench with?
So let's give them credit here. It's Wood Floor Business Magazine. That just in the last episode that came out. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it came out Monday, or
the
electronic version did.
Okay. So the question is, who in this business would you like to sit down with that bench with and talk?
That's where they pinpointed it. You and I went general. Who would you like to hang out with?
Yeah.
They said, what wood floor pro would you want to sit in this bench with? So I was like, wow, that's a great that's a great idea.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm not going to say they stole our idea.
No.
But they put some chocolate sauce on it and made it look really good.
If they did, they had a better idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's
chocolate sauce makes everything better.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day, when I was an apprentice, you think about especially when I was a carpenter coming up as a carpenter's apprentice, all those guys are probably dead now. All our journeymen that taught us the trade. Isn't that something to think about that?
That it's crazy. I started my dad's crew in 1976. I mean, that's when I really join the crew. You know, I've been working for free for years up to then, but in 1976, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was talking to some of the guys in my class over the weekend. I had did a training in New Jersey with Dan Gorsinger and Gorsinger Brothers and his crew.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
it was a
Yeah.
great weekend.
Yeah.
Really great bunch of guys, excellent training. And you know, you would think guys work tough all week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hard, you know the deal. You know how hard everybody works. So I was a little skeptical about how these guys would be thinking, are you kidding me? You know, I worked all week. Now I got to go in for a couple days of training. Man, they brought it every day.
No kidding.
I'm telling you, they brought it every day to a point where on Sunday I was like, you want to do some more? And every one of them, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't, yeah, let's keep going. I mean, they were into it.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? They were just cranking.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty pumped. It was really cool.
Yeah. You ever have a deadbeat show up to the school that doesn't want, like a guy doesn't want to do anything? Like, I'm not talking about older guy who, like, he's done it all before, he's there. I'm talking about like a young kid coming in who's just a deadbeat.
Very rare. very, very rare.
What would you even say to that guy? What are you doing here?
I really pushed the hell out of a guy like that.
Yeah.
To the point where he's just going to do stuff, so I stopped bugging him.
I'm not talking about like a guy. Some guys are very timid, and that's fine.
No, I know exactly what you mean. The guy
I'm talking about a guy who's
just doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Did I ever tell you about the guy with the buffer in Nashville? Of all my interactions at school, this may have been my favorite. Guy goes to school with his granddad. In fact, I think it was his granddad, and granddad had been doing floors since they first put the floor in America. And we're buffing the floors now. I'm showing how everybody how to clock the buffer, right? And we're doing that and everything. So I turn the buffers over to everybody, and this one guy starts buffing the floor perpendicular to the floor, right? Not going with the grain, a completely opposite of what I told him to do. He's going perpendicular. I look at him for a while, and I go, no, hang on a second. I said, oh, let's stop for a minute, everybody. Let's go ahead and stop. I said, hey, partner, I said, remember what we talked about is I would like you to clock the buffer going the direction of the screen, so you keep your scratch pattern going with the direction of the screen. You're going to have less scratches. And his granddad stopped. There he goes, no, now hold on a minute. He had the best radio voice you've ever heard in your life. I mean, deep baritone, commanding voice, right? He goes, now hold on a second. And all eyes go to him, right? This man commands, and he's that guy that just,
yes.
He's a great speaker. He goes, no. Where did you say you was from again? To me. I said, well, I was California. See, yeah, okay.
Oh, that was it.
So out there, now what you're going to get out there is you're going to get a lot of flat floors. Okay. Now, and here in Nashville, so what you don't know is in this market here, you get a lot of subfloors that are like all over the place. So that way, the way we handle that is we sand the floors on a perpendicular. I go, yeah, no. I said, here's the thing, man. I said, I understand what you're saying. I said, really didn't. I said, but in San Francisco Bay Area, all the houses are hanging off the hills. I mean, there are all kinds of subfloors all over the place. What are you talking about? San Francisco was in earthquakes. I mean, the houses falling down. We have all kinds of situations. I said, and then while I'm talking to him, the whole time the kid has got his hands on the buffer, waiting to go. He's wanting the green light, right? He's just waiting for us to get finished with this conversation. So I said, no. So I said, listen, I understand you got your own way, and I'm not trying to tell you to do things differently. I'm showing you our way that I think is the best way to do it, and what have you. And everybody has their own way. So if your way's working, I always say, God bless you. Go ahead and do what you're doing if you like it and it's working. But just be open-minded to maybe different ways. So what I'd like you to do, and now I turn to his grandkid. I say, so what I'd like you to do is go ahead and go with the direction of the grain when you're buffing the floor, and maybe we'll look at the differences, okay? And he goes, all right, you done? I go, yeah. And he turns on the buffer, and he's going perpendicular, staring at me. He's not even looking at the floor. He's staring at me the whole time, like, nah, we're doing our way. Yeah. So I walked over to the plug and I unplugged it.
Oh,
I go, yeah, not going to work that way, buddy. I said,
whoa.
we're gonna do it this way. And here's the reason. I'm going to tell you something. And this is not, I don't know why I got off on this, but I'll tell you why I know I'm right. We hired a guy one time, and he, what did he do? He hard plated. He hard plated on a perpendicular, but why did he have he hard perpendicular to the floor? He hard plated, but no, I can't remember what he did. But what he did with us is he striped the floor. When he did that, he went perpendicular and he striped the floor. You know what I mean? Like you can see color differences in the thing. Oh, I know why it was different. I had him hard plate the floor first. So I said, no, I said, like, if you do it that way, if that's your way to do it, if you go perpendicular, then, that's okay. We'll get into that later. Do it. I'd like you to change that. He goes, hey, honest to God, I've never had a problem. I've done it this way my whole life. And at that time, I'm like, all right, well, my way's my way. If he's never had a problem, he does it this way, I'll explore that. I don't want to be the, I'll give him some latitude. I said, we hard plate the floor first on this particular job. I want to hard plate. He goes, okay, fine. I'll just hard plate. Then I'll screen it like I normally do. He left stripes in the floor. Now, he said that would never have happened when he did his floors, but he never hard plated. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You change one thing, you change everything.
Right.
And he may not have had problems if he did it his way. But when I asked him to hard plate first, the aggressiveness of the hard plate, he never got out. So he striped the floor. So he got to the point we had to send that over real quick.
Now, we used to hard plate everything, but we double hard plated everything. First, we do everything on a 45 and then joint it out with the grain.
Okay.
So the floors were extremely flat.
I would say so, yeah.
And that's when my grandfather was around. As soon as he's retired, my dad retired the hard plate, and we just went right from drumming to screening. And that's when we used to see all this soft grain dish out. We had never seen it before. You were talking about how old we were.
Yeah.
I was talking to this crew, and it hit me that you and I are really the generation that saw, I think, the biggest change. You and I went from the slot machines to the belt machines.
Yeah.
Which is a whole different ball game.
From oil to water.
Friction, more, yeah.
From oil to water, from manual nail guns to pneumatic nail guns.
Our generation was I saw it, I don't know if it was Wood Floor Business or the NWFA magazine. One of the magazines had, show us how old you are. What do you remember from the old days type of a thing. And the first thing that hit my head was the time Bum walked up to me and he goes, what the hell is this pulley for? Where did this pulley come from? I go, it's not a pulley. I said, that's an edger paper cutter.
Oh, be darned.
And, but remember, it looked like a big pulley,
Yep.
So he was wondering, where the hell would this pulley go?
Wow.
On the floor sander. I go, no, we used to cut edger paper. And he's looking at me like, what are you talking about? You cut edger paper.
Wow. That's pretty funny.
You would cut it when you'd take it out of the box and cut it again. I go, no. There was you never bought buying a box of edger paper to me was like you were saying buying a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Why would I buy a box of edger paper?
Cut your own
pay
paper.
all that extra money, that quarter of a penny.
Well,
per disc.
We went from steel wool too to maroon pads. If you think about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Our generation really was the big switch.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? Your uncle.
Yeah. Oh.
Didn't use a belt machine.
Nope.
Cut all his edge of paper.
Yep. When we swept the floor for coating, we didn't vacuum when I first started, and we carried a 3-inch putty knife in our back pocket so we get the dust out of the corners.
Wow.
That's old school.
We were pretty fancy. We had the loudest canister vac. It was deafening. I mean, it was, and I think most of the dust that we sucked in, a third of it shot out the top of the damn thing. And
sound like an airplane taking off all the time. That old Craftsman red one with a black, I can picture it now.
I will send you the picture of the Craftsman red and black one. Yep.
We rode to work on a donkey. Just kidding. All right. So Rob, so the premise is if you on that bench, we'll play along and who would you talk to? Who's the one or two people that you would want to talk to, dead or alive? Is that it?
Yeah, dead or alive.
Okay.
Dead or alive. And I really thought about this. You know, I mean,
But they're not dead on the bench.
they're not, no, they're alive.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody you're going to talk to is living.
Okay.
Okay. They're just
Okay.
going to sit on the bench. And I really thought about it. I went, you know, I really thought, all right. I mean, and I'm talking just wood floor pros. And I think the guy I've spent the guys who run this list, I've spent some time with some of the people who got 2, 3, or 4 votes. So I have talked with these guys. Been to dinner with most of them alone.
Okay. I'm excited to see who you're going to say because I have no idea.
Mickey Moore.
Okay.
Mickey Moore.
Yep.
And the reason I say Mickey Moore is, you know, I'm a trainer. That's what I do now. And I think Mickey Moore was just the godfather of training. I think he was the absolute first official trainer in the wood floor business. I mean, that was doing it in schools. I can't think of anybody before him, right? He had the NOFMA school in Memphis, and I think he only did 1 or 2 a year. So I'm going to go with Mickey Moore.
I'll be darned. Well, I can see where you would do that. Plus, he's super interesting guy. I mean, I've never met him. I've read so many articles that he's written. It would be an honor to meet him.
I met him. It was a huge school in St. Louis at the NWFA, and he came in, and you know he came in for like a day or something. It really wasn't. It was when Seabaugh was the head guy, but Mickey Moore had come in. Daniel Boone had come in, so there was some, you know, there was some power there. But I got a chance to talk to Mickey Moore a little bit, but I'd like to. That would be my guy to sit on the bench with. You know, I mean the guy who invented, I think, training, official training for the hardwood floor industry. So I think I would. Yeah, that was my guy. I'd like to talk to him.
I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely. What would you ask him?
What was it like in the beginning?
Yeah.
How the hell did you even advertise something like this when there was no way to advertise stuff like this?
Yeah. I mean, it was a foreign concept. Even, you know, when we started out, we didn't help each other like these guys do today. We didn't share any. In fact, everything was a secret.
You're not gonna listen, man. I use a 10-inch Lambsville applicator. I'm not telling anybody.
Right.
It's nobody's business how I cross and joint the poly floor.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, he would be the guy. I mean, he was his first guy to do it. I mean, think of the concept.
Yeah.
You know, let's get a big hall, build panels, bring equipment in, you know, teach guys. It just, I mean, we look at it now. I mean, you and I have been around it for so long, we take it for granted. But think of the first time that somebody said, let's do a hardwood floor school.
Wouldn't you like to be able to go back in time and watch that first school?
Yeah.
All the people, the guys that were there, the techniques that there were, you know, how that whole thing was run.
You know, we get some listeners out there. If anybody attended the first school, boy, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. Tell us what it was like. Wayne will send you a shirt.
Yeah. This one that I got
Wayne's wife will fix that one.
Adhesive on it.
He's gonna give you the shirt right off his back.
All right, I'm gonna go with 2, Rob. There's so many guys in this industry alive today that I respect. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin. But I'll go with 2, and the first one would be my Uncle Stan. If I can get sentimental for a minute, because he started us in the trade. We started on the very bottom ladder, the very bottom rung of being a foreman, my brothers and I. And he never got to see us get to, you know, where we are right now. And I think it would be cool to have a conversation with him and say, hey man, here's where we are, and because of you, that we're so patient and so willing to teach us and be a kind teacher. You know what I mean? I think that for sure it'd be my Uncle Stan. Yeah, you hear me talk about him a lot.
All the time. When did he pass away?
Oh man, I was must have been mid-90s. I think he passed away. I hate
Oh,
that I don't know.
geez.
My memory is bad, so I don't remember exactly what it is. But I'll tell you a funny story. I hope if his anybody listening will, you know, take this in the spirit it's meant. Um, I got I was coming home from work one day and I was tired and he'd been sick. He had cancer and he's been sick for a long time. In fact, hospice had already come to the house, right? So he wasn't long for this world. And a wonderful human being. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy was as good as it gets. And so I was coming home from work one day and I was tired, man. I was like, man, I'm exhausted. I want to get home, and but I got to go see Stan. I don't want to have him pass away before me seeing him one more time and everything. He was way on the other side of town, and traffic, and the drill. You got phone calls and stuff, but I can't not do this. I'll go see him. So I went and I saw him, and they had him in the bed, and he was a big guy when he was before he was sick. He was a good, strong dude. And but this part of his life, he was a lot smaller now with the cancer, eating him up and everything. And he was laying there, and I was talking to him, and I said, Stan, do you realize how many people you taught this trade to? How to make a living. I mean, you taught myself, you taught my two brothers, you taught the guy that lived next door that now went on to own his own company. You taught your son, who's a damn good floor man today, and you taught your son-in-law who made a living and earned a living doing this and everything. And
Wow.
you taught so many people how to do this trade. You got us all into it. It'd be nice if we all came here and got together and kicked the shit out of you. And it was the last time I seen him laugh. And he passed away shortly after that. But so he would be number one for sure, just out of respect to him, and to just let him know, hey man, what you taught us, we took to heart, and we try to get better, and so he'd be number one. Yep.
And you said you were going to beat him up.
Yeah.
Nice.
You got to.
That's a good one, though. That's good. Who would be your second guy? You said you had two.
I've said before, I think this is the greatest floor man that's ever lived. And no, not me, Rob. And not saying something because I know I've got the utmost respect for the Lenny Halls of the world, the Daniel Boones, the Steve Seabaws, and we keep throwing those names out there, and I feel bad sometimes because there's guys out there that we don't know, that don't mess with social media, that would run circles around us, that are flat out studs, and I totally always want to give that up to those guys. I always recognize that there's guys, and I'll tell you, there's an up and coming with Josh Hansman and Aaron Sheaves. There's some and young brothers, and I can name so many. There's so many studs coming up, man. So with all due respect to those guys who I think are incredible, the guy that I think is the top of the line is Eugene Klotz from Renaissance Floors. I don't think there'll ever be another in our lifetime. The work that he put out was on another. I mean, it's just incredible. Oh, the guy was so good that he stopped entering Floors of the Year because it wasn't fair to everybody else.
Wow.
And I mean, it's not an exaggeration. He quit because you can't compete with this guy. I mean, he was an artist, wonderful guy. From what I knew of him, I didn't know him a whole lot. I got a chance to go by his shop several times and talk to him, and I went to some schools where he was the instructor. And this guy was on another planet, man. So if you look up Gene Renaissance Inlays, or Gene Klotz, he was a Polish guy. I think he was the youngest guy in Poland to ever become a master in marquetry. He went to there's some prestigious school over there. What you're seeing on computers today couldn't touch what he did. They couldn't touch it.
Where's he out of? Where's he located?
He was out of Poland. He passed away as a young guy. I mean, I think he was in his 50s when he passed away. But I believe his wife may have taken over the business. I don't know.
In Poland, not over here.
Well, he was in Poland, but he moved to America. So
that's why I was asking. What where do you work out of in the States?
In the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
And I went one. This was is kind of telling about our industry. I went one time to a shop out of the blue because I was close to where he was. I thought, you know what, I'm going to run over and see his shop, and hopefully he's around and he doesn't mind me. No, I just love to see what he's working on. and he was in a bad mood, a really bad mood. And it's maybe not the time to come by here. And he had a medallion laying on the floor, and he goes, "Look at that medallion." I said, "Yeah, it's stunning." And he goes, "Tell me what's wrong with it." I go, you serious?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Something's wrong with it. Tell me what's wrong with it." I said, "Gene, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, it's a piece of art." He said, "The customer complained about that board right there, and it's too light." I said, "You have got to be kidding me." And I went home, and I was driving home, and I was thinking to myself, man, if this guy's got problems, we're all screwed. You know what I mean? So Eugene Klotz, because I would also like to pick his brain and see how he was truly an artist, and I would never be able to understand anything on his level what he did, but I would love to be able to pick his brain and just see what makes a guy like, are you born with it, or how much natural talent did he bring into it before he became what he was? And he changed this industry in a lot of ways, and for sure he'd be the other guy I'd like to talk to.
Very good. So, but you did meet him. You did get to talk to him
several times. Well, here's how stupid I was. He was when I went to my first NWFA class. I was still in this mindset, like, I came from that generation when no one shared anything, right? I didn't know much about the NWFA classes, I was just kind of getting to know it. And I unbeknownst to me that he was the instructor of the group that I was going to be in. The class was in St. Louis. And they said, "There's your instructors." And he's one of the instructors. I had no idea he was going to be an instructor. I thought, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's here." And I luckily got into his group. But a small part of me said, he's going to know I'm from the Bay Area. He's not going to want to show me anything. How stupid can you be? He could have, and he did. He was very giving. He could have unleashed the vault, and I would have picked up everything this band could do. Matter of fact, one of the things he said to us was, "Okay, what do you guys want to do?" Day one of the class. All right, what do you guys want to do? Put it out there. And we're like, we don't know each other. It's day, you know how it goes. Day one, there's like 5 of us. And we go, "I don't know." He goes, "Well, draw something. I mean, come up with some, any design that you want to do that you think would be cool." And everybody had nothing. And he goes, "I don't know. Maybe we should do this." And he took his pencil on the building paper and just magically did all kinds of crap. And he drew up this design that was like out of this world. And we're like, "Oh, you can do that?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, you can do anything. It's wood." I went, "Oh my God, this is going to be good."
Wow.
Yeah. And it was, it was heaven.
So that's what got you the bug
of marquetry. Yes.
Yeah. That's okay. I thought it was from somebody else, but
no. It was
that's who got you that bug.
And from then I started getting marquetry books and inlay books and stuff like that, and seeing that, and so yeah.
Huh. Learn something new every day.
You could make an argument. I didn't think about this until this very minute. Obviously I won the thing.
Cue the music, please, for the floor of the year.
I did not think about till just this moment, but I'll be a son of a gun. You could trace that right back to him, because the medallion is all marquetry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never would have got that. I would never know it was even possible if not for him. And I just did not realize it till this moment. You see the things you learn?
You see that?
Yeah. So.
And what was his name again? Eugene Klotz.
Eugene Klotz. Yep.
You should give him a shout out.
Yeah.
You should give him a shout out when
he's
they
passed
finally
away.
Send you your award.
Yeah.
Have you got it yet?
No, not yet.
Did you see the picture of Aaron Cheese with your award?
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Wow, that was kind of funny.
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah. We should put that picture up online.
Nah, it's okay.
I don't know how he did it, but Aaron Cheese ended up in St. Louis. Well, it must have been for a school or something.
Mm-hmm. Inspector school.
The inspector school. And he took Wayne's award, and they put a new plaque on it. Cross names, Wayne's name out, and put Aaron Cheese.
I actually thought it was hilarious. Brett Miller was actually looked pretty official too. He's handing it off
and Brett Miller handed it off to him, shaking his hand and everything. There was a lot of people involved. Think of how many people were involved in that and that little one. That was everybody wanted a piece of that.
Pretty funny. All right, you got a number two guy you want to sit on the bench with?
Probably my great grandfather.
Okay.
I was one when he died, and so I never really, you're 1 year old.
And he was a floor man, right?
Well, he came from Norway, and Bum did some ancestry digging, so I thought we were, I was all dying to hear how many generations of floor man we really are. And it turns out that we're actually German.
No kidding.
He moved from Germany to Norway, and he was a farmer. And then when he came over here, he got a job with Brunswick installing pool tables.
What are you guys going to do with all those wooden shoes that you have on the mantle?
No, we're Norwegian, man. We're not Danish.
Oh, is that Danish?
Yeah, I think that's Danish. Yeah, we're the guys with the horns on the helmet.
Oh,
but
Vikings.
Vikings.
Okay.
But it's really German. We're German. They
Okay.
came from Norway. Yeah. He was German. They moved to Norway, and they did dairy cows. They were milk farmers.
So wait a minute. Let's be clear on this. Was he a floor man?
He was when he moved to the States.
Okay.
He immigrated to the States, and like I said, his first job was working for a company called Johnson and Anderson, because our real name is Fardum.
Your real name is?
His name was Fadum, Fahdum.
Wow.
That's our real family name.
I'll be darned.
But because when he came here, he had a job already with Johnson and Anderson, and the guy who was filling out the paperwork or whatever wrote down Johnson as his last name.
No kidding.
So that's how we all got it.
Wasn't very attached to his name, was he?
He dropped that like,
Johnson.
What do I got to do to get into this country? I'll sign whatever you want.
Yeah.
So they went to that company. They installed pool tables for Brunswick Corporation. Pool back,
Yeah,
the early 1900s was big.
Yep.
And most most bowling alleys had a pool hall attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they got into doing the bowling alleys. And then one thing led to another, and that's how it all got started. So he was the first generation. So yeah, that would be the guy, probably the second guy I'd like to sit down with and have a conversation. And especially when I found out that, the whole thing, we were farmers and came from Germany and everything. That was pretty cool. It's amazing what you can do with that ancestry stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I told you, I found out I have another brother and a sister that I never knew about.
Have you contacted him since then?
Yeah. We've on Facebook and message each other quite often. Yeah. He's going to come over in June.
Cool.
Yeah. So it'd be great to meet him. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So,
well, right. You got to mention.
Oh, yeah. That was very kind of somebody. I don't know why.
You got to mention. Absolutely.
Yeah, as did you.
SJ Hardwood Floors.
John James. I could sit down and talk to James for quite a bit. We got a lot of things in common.
Well, he mentioned, here's what he said. Now they told you just to pick one. This guy doesn't follow directions very well.
He's a drummer.
Okay. All right. So he picked Howard Brickman and Lenny Hall. He said, I feel there's enough room for three of us. If only two on the bench, then we'll do chicken and add Wayne Highlander.
Okay, so that's a big drop off from Howard Brickman and Lenny Hall to Wayne Highlander.
And you won Floor of the Year. You're up there now.
See,
you are. Cue the music, please. But that was the very first one. So you're in the very first one.
Oh, that's very kind of him. Yeah.
Do you know the guy?
Oh, yeah, Sean. We had him on the show.
And he still wants to sit with you.
Yeah. He's a ginger. He's a drummer in a punk rock band. Damn it, I wish I knew the name of his band again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah.
The Cuts is the name, I believe, is the name of the band. I hope I didn't screw that up, Sean. Maybe I did. got a great dog named Taco. This guy's what I like about him too. Guy is a very much a dog person, and so yeah, cool dude.
I got mentioned.
Who mentioned you? Your mom?
We have to scroll way, way, way down.
Nobody else was left. They went, well, I guess Rob.
Yeah, this is way down. Still scrolling. Howard Brickman is like every other guy is Howard Brickman, Daniel Boone. They got a bunch. Lenny Hall.
Yeah.
He got a ton. Still trying to find my guy. Oh boy.
Damn, that's like when you have to put your age down now and you gotta get on your computer or your credit cards or whatever, you gotta keep going down and down and down nowadays.
Do you know I just saw this. This is unbelievable. Lenny Hall put down Eugene Klotz.
No kidding.
Yeah.
If you're the only one to put them down, you don't have to go through all of them, but I'll be darned.
Well, I have to go through almost every one of them to find. Oh man, are you kidding me? Did I go past it? Clint Fudge got a bunch.
Clint Fudge deserves a bunch.
He's
John Bumpus. I don't know if he's on there. The guy's a stud. A lot of.
All right, I found me. John DeRosa. He wrote Rob Johnson from Bona.
Pretty cool.
Do you know John?
I do not. Do not.
Okay. John, if you're listening, give me a call. Eileen. I know Eileen's on here. Eileen, do me a favor. Send him a little something from Bona, maybe a Bona snowmobile or something like that to John for giving because he got a double whammy in there. He got my name and he got Bona in there too. So,
wow. But I see what's amazing what $20 will get you.
I'll tell you what. And I'm not kidding you either. I was pretty shocked I was on this list.
Yeah, it's an honor.
You know me. I'm a production guy. I'm not a fancy guy like you guys are. Okay. I'm production work. But it was an unbelievable. It's funny. I showed the article to Pauline. So, of course, Pauline thought that every single person on there should have said me, Mm-hmm. So as she's scrolling down, when she finally got to me, she's like, oh, thank God. Okay. Because Wayne's name is like the first guy written on this article. But yeah, so I appreciate the guy, John.
Very cool.
Make sure I get John DeRosa. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And my wife thanks you too.
All right, Rob. Well, we better wrap it up. It's great seeing you again. We have we got some guests coming up pretty soon too.
Who we got coming up?
I don't want to say because we're working on the schedule for them, so I don't want to not be correct. But
I think it might be a couple of people that are on this list.
Yes, it is, and we've had them on before, so good stuff. All right, this has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Thank you for listening so much. We can't say enough. We appreciate your listenership very much. Please stay tuned for another episode.